are gamers partaking now? Like Microsoft hasn't even mastered the art of just creating great games, right? So
They
and then you're
It's
looking.
true.
No, no, no. Listen,
It's
and
true.
I'm going to be honest. Think about it, right? As a long time Xbox guy, um,
Mastered. They
for
should
the
try and do it once.
for the last two generations, they have not been consistent in good quality software.
I would agree.
The the good trusties, right? The Halo, Gears, and the Forza have been the only consistent, high quality type things. And even this generation is went going downhill, right? This Forza is the lowest
Horizon
Forza.
5 is
The
incredible.
That's
Like
a
like
great
they
game.
do have
no, no, no.
bangers,
Yeah,
but
the
yeah.
Horizon series, I can actually see them killing off the Motorsport series, right? They just it's for whatever reason. They haven't mastered that, and the Microsoft is all over the place in all these different buckets, and these guys come out on the stage. Yeah, we want to go for the game over here and the game over there and the game of this, and we want to do all this stuff and cater to PlayStation and cater to Nintendo. You can't even cater to your base.
Well, Phil Spencer
Yeah,
sees
I
their
mean,
relevancy as a company tied to gaming. And I kind of think he's right. Like, I think as great gaming continues to grow and become more endemic to daily life, like it's just a part of what we do. It's on cell phones. I think, again, they want to see that the TV inroad and, you know, the PC potential growth for that market. We see other companies, PlayStation's like, hey, we're going to look more into PC. Now, people are twisting it and saying, oh, they're going to go day and date. Maybe by the time Spider-Man 3 comes out, they'll do day and date, because at that point in time, they've established that digital library loyalty with all the PS5 owners, and there's no risk in somebody being like, well, I'm going to switch to PC for Spider-Man 3. I don't think that would happen. And they're seeing that revenue and saying, we need to go over there because that's a big market. That's a big place to go make money. So I think Microsoft sees that relevancy in gaming being intertwined with cloud, and with that, we're going to be everywhere. Satya said, like, we are everywhere. That's the goal of Microsoft. Gaming is an arm of that, and that's how they maintain their relevancy in the market. That's why it was kind of easy to believe they were going to change it to Microsoft Gaming. I don't think they will, but I'm like, that's so Microsoft to be like, you're not Xbox anymore, you're Microsoft Gaming. Like, the ego of their corporate thinking. And I think that's how they look at gaming. That's why they've not been good at creative, because they're good at software. Software is not creative, it's utilitarian. And I think that's why a lot of their policies with contracts, and the fact that a lot of their great games, they bought them, right? They don't foster creative with look at what they allowed happen to 343 and Halo.
Yeah.
I said yesterday, they should have treated Halo like a Fabergé egg. They should have held it with reverence and protected it and funneled money and studios at it. And instead,
Preach, Lono.
they let the multiplayer launch in a beta. And it's like, what? That's not how you
like
treat
a year,
your big property.
a beta for a year.
Right. Imagine if Nintendo did that with one of their big properties, or imagine if God of War Horizon came out and was just a buggy disaster mess, and we learned that half the studio was on contract and leaving. We'd be angry. We'd be like, why would you treat your big valuable property that way? That's why I was so mad about the last.
What Factions was going to be. That's why they cut it. Because it's damage control. It's brand protection.
The Last of Us port to PC, I took him to task for that. I'm like, this is not how you treat your property, PlayStation. This is embarrassing. Where's the ownership? They were trying to capitalize on the popularity of the TV show. That was a giant mistake, and I can't see PlayStation making that mistake again. That's why they canceled Factions. But Xbox is just happy to launch Forza Motorsport before it's ready, and the user scores are abysmal because of it. And it's just like, that's my concern. It's like, they own a lot of property and they don't handle it very well. And if they want to start doing this, like taking property over to PlayStation, they better wait a year, because they're going to have to get the games in better state if they want to do it.
Yeah. I could easily see Xbox ruining all this IP. Like, let me, I don't want that. And I don't think that's what's going to happen. But to your point, Lono, that is a good point. Like, culture wise, they've not yet figured out how to maintain that creative ideal that you need in software development separate from game development. And Sony does that great. Sony has that culture. Nintendo has that culture. Nintendo passes on a culture. They got tons of tradition there too. Microsoft needs to figure that out. But the weird thing is they're such a behemoth, even if they don't. If Call of Duty puts out the same Call of Duty for the next 20 years, that's probably going to make money, right? And it is one of those things where people like it's a double-edged sword, their position. They don't necessarily have to prioritize quality or innovation as much as they have to just let's use our existing infrastructure and get our stuff everywhere. That is cloud and all that stuff, which is innovative, but nothing what you're probably going to see from a Nintendo or Sony from games or hardware moving forward specifically.
It's not foolproof because, you know, whether you like Bobby Kotick or not, right, with what was going on over there, they were cranking these games out, and these games were good games. You know, and they kept the revenue coming in, and they switched it up. And now we've had pretty much the heads of all of those studios have left with all of a lot of those developers and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how Call of Duty maintains over the next iteration or two.
Hopefully
But
they're
I
all
can't
leaving
say
with
they,
big old fat paychecks because
Yeah,
they,
parachutes.
had the little well, not just
Yeah.
parachutes, but also like like stock options. And all of a sudden you just got a big old check, especially if you've been taking a part of that. And then you as a developer who
Hopefully.
says, now I got the money that I want to go make the game that I've always wanted to make, but couldn't. Like that's where I think we see